your city right now. Anywhere in your city right now, and you see a group of 50 to 175 people, and they're holding these signs. And on the signs, as they're promoting these signs, it says "Free R. Kelly." Free R. Kelly. And you hear this loud, thunderous, like, "Free R. Kelly." And everybody's kind of excited. Everybody's in an uproar. Well, here's my thought process. As we dive deeper into this situation and we think about this R. Kelly trial or whatever case may be, I noticed that there are a lot of people saying that this R. Kelly situation, it's about racism. Now, I have my opinion about it or whatever case may be, and I'm looking at it a different way or whatever, but do we use racism when it's black people versus anybody else? Is that the first thing that we run to? Is that the first thing that we start to talk about? Is it a victimhood saying that, you know what, I'm going to implement racism? The Sha'Carri Richardson, we implemented racism. The R. Kelly, we implemented racism. It's always about racism and not the actual act. So I wanted to play something for you guys, and y'all let me know what y'all think.
Anyways, she is a victim of the culture, and I've said this over and over again ad nauseum, which is just that victimhood has become almost a mental plague upon Black America in particular, because that word racism is being so overused that society is becoming desensitized to it, and we actually can't even recognize it when it actually exists. We think everything is racist. Things that used to be normal conflicts between human beings, getting cut off while you're driving, having a bad correspondence in a grocery store, you should just brush it off, shrug it off, and move on with your day. Now people are crying and making videos and pleading on Facebook to say, look what I experienced today. I mean, it's sad for her, but I think it also says, as you mentioned earlier, it's something bigger that's happening in culture that needs to be addressed before it goes too far.
Luis, the individual who she accused.
Free R. Kelly. Free R. Kelly. This is the chant. This is the plea. This is the motivation behind this trial. It's a lot of people saying, hey, this trial was racist. It's a lot of people lying. R. Kelly should be freed. First of all, salute to the chat, but I'm going to get into this real quick. My thought process is a little bit different. I want to ask all of the R. Kelly sympathizers, I want to ask all of the people that are alleged victims of R. Kelly, and then all the people that are just like me. I'm kind of in the middle. I haven't weighed left or right. I'm just kind of in the middle right now on really what to think about this trial. Free R. Kelly to do what? Now, I tagged a couple people in this because I want to get their perspective on this. Free R. Kelly to do what? My thought process is, it's interesting that your celebrity status or what you provide for other people will make people overlook what's happened. If this was a regular school teacher, if this was a local pastor, if this was a garbage man, would that person that's accused of these things, this 8 counts of X, Y, and Z, would we have as much energy? Because here's the thing, R. Kelly is known for making phenomenal music. Let's just be real. Let's get down to, I'm about to piss. Come on now, let's get to the nitty gritty. He is known for making phenomenal music, right? There is no doubt about it that the man has created some masterpieces. But here's the issue. Does the music make you overlook the allegations? Does the music say, you know what, we're going to turn the other cheek? For some reason, when you like somebody and you're rooting for someone, we have a great thing that we do where we turn the other cheek. Someone said that the Black community does a great job at uplifting the worst of their community. Well, let's examine that for a few minutes, right? You have your local drug dealer that goes to jail, they get out of prison or whatever case may be. Whoa, they home. The person that went to prison for dealing drugs get more celebration than a person coming home from college. Okay? I'm under this impression that for some reason we're sending this notation to our younger generation that if you are a celebrity, if you have clout, if you have some type of status, that we're going to overlook some things. Isn't that the same thing with Sha'Carri Richardson? Hey, look, I'm the fastest woman in Texas. I'm the fastest woman in America right now. So when I smoke this weed, y'all should be able to overlook it. And I just feel like with this whole R. Kelly situation, like we're overlooking some things. Now, do I not think that this trial was a little kind of, a little fugazi? Yes, I do. Do I think that everybody was telling 100% correct the truth? No, I don't. I'm not naive to that point, but my thought process is if you as an adult, as a responsible individual, sit back and you say, free R. Kelly, free R. Kelly, and you're promoting the signs, you're doing the videos, you telling everybody he is innocent without a shadow of a doubt. That's the issue. That's the concern that I have. Are we saying that out of all the things presented against R. Kelly, right? None of it was true. Not one thing. Because my thought process is, didn't we do the same thing with Brother Polite when we said, hey, if you touch one girl, that's enough for us. Off with your head. That's enough for us. And it's like we're giving people passes. Because my whole thing, I don't know anything about the racketeering. I wasn't there. Right? But I do know with the case of Aaliyah was underage. And you did sleep with an underage girl. That's a fact. That's not alleged. That's a fact. So if you sleeping with an underage girl, and you're an older man, is that not a situation? Is that not a situation? It's like, okay, we're going to overlook this because you gave us some hits. You got us through the 90s. Thank you very much, Robert. I truly believe that because you have a celebrity status, because your credit score is high, because you're a politician, because you're an athlete, it doesn't matter to me. Once you start saying that you're involving children and you're doing stuff to children, I don't care what your resume is. And I think the problem is that a lot of people feel like, well, as long as they have a good resume, as long as they came back and they said, you know what, they did charity events, you can touch our kids. Oh, there was a phenomenal singer. You can touch our kids. There was an athlete. Come on, you can touch our kids. I feel like we're giving that synopsis, making that thesis statement to all the children that's looking around. Can you imagine being a victim of someone and someone saying, free R. Kelly or free whoever the person that's alleged of doing it, and you're saying this is the reason why you want to free them so they can make more music? Free R. Kelly to make more music. Not thinking that, you know what, Aaliyah, rest her soul, R.I.P., is no longer here. But if Aaliyah's situation where her being a young girl and him being an older guy, if that is true, if that is factual, then you're freeing R. Kelly to do what? That's my question to everybody that I tag, all my viewers right now, all the R. Kelly sympathizers, all the people that were alleged victims. My question is, free R. Kelly to do what? What exactly do you want him to be free to do? I'm on the fence right now because, again, I don't think that the trial was fair and impartial. I do think it probably was some things that were lied about or whatever. But it's somewhere within the lies, it's a little bit of truth. And if that little bit of truth has anything to do with violating children, I'm not an advocate of you being freed. I'm not an advocate of standing up, making signs and saying free anyone. So the same way, the same energy that I have for a Brother Polite, for the local trash man, for the local teacher, for the local pastor, for anybody, I would say there's a zero tolerance. When you start making tolerance and excuses for people, and that's what I think a lot of people are doing. They're making excuses. Because it's like, oh, well, yeah, he married Aaliyah, but they was in love. So that makes it okay. You didn't hear Aaliyah say they was in love. You didn't hear Aaliyah advocating, well, of course you did, age ain't but a number. But the fact of the matter is, it's like, you're young. Live your childhood life. Why is there a grown man in your face, in your bed, between your legs? And for some reason, we turn the blind. I see a lot of people turning the blind eye. Salute to everybody in the chat. I'm just saying, it's interesting that we're turning a blind eye when it comes to this R. Kelly trial. It's like we want to promote there's racism. We want to promote their Jezebels. We want to promote their line because they want books and movie deals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And my thought process, the same people that's saying free R. Kelly, no one is saying free him to do what? No one's asking that question. Now, can someone embellish a story? Yeah, damn right. You damn right they can embellish a story. You damn right they can sit there and say, you know what? Yeah, instead of that one time he did something, he did something 20 times. Yeah, that's it. 20 times. Yeah. He tied me up. We was having foreplay. You know, he put the handcuffs on me. He put a little honey on my lip. You know, you started embellishing. No, he poured hot grits on me. I get it. I understand. You know what I'm saying? But here's the issue. The issue is that when do we come together as a community? When do we come together as a society and say there's a zero tolerance for involving our children, regardless of who you are? I think that's the message that we should be sending right now. I think that's the collective message. When you start saying free people, you normally start saying free productive citizens. You normally start saying free people who don't have allegations, proven allegations against them. And I think once you jump on this bandwagon, well, we like you, so we're going to overlook everything that's being said. Everything? Ladies and gentlemen, let me do something real quick. Can you imagine your child saying that they went to a concert and that whoever the artist was, male or female, because we fair and impartial over here, they went backstage or whatever the case may be, and then backstage, you know what I'm saying, the artist touch them in an inappropriate manner. Your child comes back, you know, and they say such and such touch me, mom, such and such touch me, dad. And you say, well, you know, they celebrities though. You know, they made some hits. I mean, they hot. Can you imagine a message that you send to your child about who you are? I got plenty mods in here. Y'all do me a favor and work y'all magic. They ain't gonna distract from the message. The fact of the matter is, can you imagine you telling your child they're a celebrity, so we're gonna overlook that? I believe that a lot of the free Art Kelly, the free Kales, I believe that that's what we're doing. I believe that that's what we're doing. If you say free Art Kelly, and then when somebody asks you, why do you say free Art Kelly? And you like, well, you know, I'll say back in the 90s, shoot, I made some fake, I made a lot of fake pretend babies. There was a lot of proms in the 90s. There was a lot of bumping and grinding in the 90s. You remind me, I believe I can fly in the 90s. But now that we're here right now, it's like, well, are we saying that this man has sung us into remission? He has sung us into a state of not holding people accountable and responsible for their actions? Because my thought process, you can sing, brother. You probably can sing about insurance and people will buy it. Life insurance. But the fact of the matter is, once you start involving children, the conversation is different. You know what I'm saying? The respect level is different. Now we have to adult up. Now we have to be responsible. Now we have to be accountable. Now we have to say, you know what? Whoa. We know you can sing good, but what does that got to do with your actions, Robert? And what I'm seeing right now, there's a lot of people not holding him responsible for his actions. Though those victims, those alleged victims, some of them may be lying. But if at any point in time there was an underage girl involved in this situation, ladies and gentlemen, the shit is null and void. It is null and void. We are not about to play this game like, okay, well, because you sang so well, because you won this and you won that, and you did this and you did that, we're going to overlook. And I believe that's the message that we're sending to a lot of these victims, not just the R. Kelly alleged victims, but victims in your family, people just like you and I that were probably victims of somebody. We're saying the message is being sent that if you are a victim of someone that is a celebrity, people may not believe you or may not support you. Is that the message that we're sending? Don't get quiet now. Don't get quiet now. Is that the message that we're sending? If someone has more clout than you, more money than you, more celebrity status than you, is the message they can do whatever they want to do and no one will hold them accountable. No one will believe you. They will make a mockery out of you. They will call you a Jezebel. They will call you a hoe. They will call you out your name. They will do everything to dismantle your character. Free R. Kelly. Free him to do what? That's my question to all the R. Kelly sympathizers, to all of the victims. I think that main question is the nucleus. Free him to do what? Make more music? We just want one more hit, R. Kelly. Then you can go back to doing whatever it is that you was doing. I'm just curious. I'm just curious. What do you want? I've seen shows where people were talking about free R. Kelly from small platforms to medium platforms to big platforms on YouTube and Facebook and TikTok. Free R. Kelly. Very convincing, very energetic, very powerful, very passionate, very, very courageous. But nobody answered the question, free him to do what? How many of you all would let R. Kelly around your 15-year-old daughter? Don't worry, I'll wait. How many of you all would let R. Kelly around your 15-year-old little daughter overnight? All right, R. Kelly, I want you. We free R. Kelly. R. Kelly is now free. He's free to do whatever he want to do. And your daughter, for some reason, see him at the McDonald's and he says, hey, I want to make you a star. I want to make you a star. Meet me at this address, this hotel room, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And your daughter comes back to you, your daughter or your son comes back to you and say, yo, I met Kels at the McDonald's. He said, all I got to do is be at, this location at this time, go to this room, and, he'll make me a star. What would your response be, ladies and gentlemen? What would your response be? Y'all want to have a real conversation, a real tough conversation? There's a lot of content creators that are not going to give you a deep response. They're going to throw up a picture, they're going to play a video, and they're going to say a little bit because they don't want to get pulled left and right. They're afraid to tell you the real deal. I am not afraid. I'm about to piss, and I swear, somebody off. You want R. Kelly to be free, but nobody's breaking down why you want him to be free. I see a lot of people talking about it's racism. Well, R. Kelly, all those victims wasn't black. Hell, all of those victims wasn't just females. And the thought process is when you're a grown man, you have to make certain types of decisions. You have to say, do I want to repeat this behavior? Do I want to be around these shenanigans? Do I want to be involved in this nonsense? And my thought process, a conscious decision was made. Now, somebody said allegedly he couldn't read, but that don't mean he can't comprehend. I know a lot of people. How many of you all got grandparents, never been to college, but smart as shit? Can talk about finances, can talk about raising kids, can talk about relationships, can talk about doing a lot of things, but they never been to college. I don't take anything away from anybody. So when you say he couldn't read, that don't mean he can't comprehend. That don't mean he doesn't have common sense. So my thought process is, well, the whole Aaliyah thing was a big fiasco. Why keep going down a rabbit hole? Why the people around you are not saying, hey, bro, this is wrong. Let's get you some help. Money make you do some crazy things, right? I see a lot of his family members speaking up. Y'all just don't know Rob. Y'all don't know who Rob is, who he really is. Do you know who he really is? All we need to know is about the music, bro. You gonna make another hit? Because I got some girls coming over, you know what I'm saying? We about to have a little party or whatever, so I need another hit. I need another banger. I believe I can fly. It's not for us to know the man, it's for us to know the artist. We agree with the artist, and I think that's the problem. We are confusing the artist with the man's character. Am I talking to somebody? I ain't a preacher, but this is something like a message. Are we confusing the artist with the man's character? We love the artist. The artist is amazing. We appreciate, we uplift, we promote, we financially support the artist. Right? That's what we do. But the man's character is in question. That's something as adults we have to say, ho. I don't give a shit about you being an artist. What you doing as a man? What you doing as a man? This shit look questionable, Robert. And this is a problem that I have with a lot of people that are R. Kelly sympathizers. No one's saying that these actions look questionable. No one is being 100. No one is being realistic. It's not one girl, it's multiple girls. You saying all of these girls lying? Not one person is telling the truth? So Aaliyah did not exist. That was a facade. We never saw Aaliyah. We never knew who Aaliyah was. She made up. Not one person that's an R. Kelly sympathizer has come out and said he is definitely guilty of X, Y, and Z. Definitely. And because he's guilty of X, Y, and Z, because of X, he needs to be in jail. Because of Y, he needs to be in jail. Because of Z, he needs to be in jail. It's just free R. Kelly. Well, free him to do what? I'm asking a real simple question. A lot of people pull a race card. Well, it's this black man going against the system. Let me tell you something. R. Kelly is in the best position. He is in the best position. Why do I say that? Why do I say that? Is this dude loony? Is he crazy? What's wrong with ToughLove this morning? He is in the best. Free R. Kelly. Well, he's in the best position. You want to know why he's in the best position? R. Kelly had the money for a defense. Ooh, this fucking mic. R. Kelly had money for a defense. How many people you know right now don't have the money for a defense? They're going with the public defender. They're going with some rinky-dink lawyer that probably don't really practice law, ain't really never had no real cases. R. Kelly has money for a defense. R. Kelly had the money to settle out of court. Do I feel sorry for R. Kelly? I feel sorry for the artist. I feel sorry for him not being able to do more music, to bless the world with his music. Do I feel sorry for the man, the character? No. Because as a man, if you keep on doing the same thing, well, we know what that's called, right? He had money to get help. Listen, y'all, we need somebody to hear this message because I'm tired of playing these games. I am tired of playing these games. I am tired of listening to the fuckery and the shenanigans that people are promoting. Let's get back to the basics. What they said, let's take it back to the old school. If you're going to be grown, then be grown. Don't play around with it. We ain't got time for that. R. Kelly, we love you as an artist, but as a man, we question your character. If there is anything, any inclination of those allegations being true, of you being involved with children, one child, a half a child, 1% of a child, a nucleus of a child, a semen with a child in it, we got to question you. We got to look at you. We got to hold you responsible. Do I believe that the trial was 100% factual? It was all truth that was presented? Hell no. Don't come over here with that. Hell no. How can I say this in Braille? Hell no. I do not believe that. I do not believe that it was 100% fair trial. I truly believe, and I was going back and forth with somebody in the comment section yesterday about that video. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. Okay. I believe I can fly. No, that's not. No, listen. Okay, check this out. If you do a whole documentary on Lifetime where millions of people, let's keep it realistic. Let me wrap it up because I don't know if it was millions. I do know it was thousands. Thousands of people, right, have saw a video with you allegedly abusing young women and older women, keeping them locked up, starvation, keeping them away from their families, changing them so that way they look like so they can look like young boys. If you see The surviving R. Kelly documentary. Are you telling me as a juror, with that in your mind, before the actual court date, you're telling me if you watch something, this is episodes, not just 30 minutes, this is episodes. You're telling me that would not sway people's mind in regards to say, maybe he is guilty. So you're going in with the mentality that he's guilty. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you say. And it's crazy to me. It's crazy to me that people think that, well, I don't think the documentary had anything to do with how the judge thought, how the prosecution thought, or how the jury thought, or how society viewed R. Kelly before the actual court date. I think it's unfair. You want me to talk? You want me to speak? I think it's unfair. Can you imagine someone doing a documentary about you, about whatever alleged events that's happening with you, and then you got to go to court? You got to go to court about it a year from now. Everything pointing at you to be guilty. You done heard everybody else's side of the story, but they ain't get it from you. And now you're sitting in a courtroom fighting for your life. I think that's a little unfair. I think that's a little unfair. See, we can be fair and impartial over here. We can have a conversation. You want R. Kelly to be free? Cool, let him be free. But the thought process is, was it a fair and impartial trial? I truly believe that if the documentary was released like right now, okay, cool, because now they've already kind of, saw all of the facts that was presented and cool, yada, yada, and made their decision. But don't do it before the damn trial. If I was R. Kelly's family, I'd be mad as hell. If I was an R. Kelly sympathizer, I'd be mad as hell. But let me tell you something. The documentary only supported the decision to make him guilty. I want you guys to think about that. The documentary only supported the decision to make him guilty. If you're telling me that the judge did not see that documentary, that none of the 12 jurors seen that documentary, that the prosecution team did not see that documentary was the base for a lot of stuff. And here's the thing, for someone to sit down and say, we're going to play an entire documentary on a major network, Lifetime, surviving R. Kelly, and paint the picture, paint the narrative for you, promote the rhetoric that you are an abuser, that you are this, you are trafficking, you are racketeering, you are doing all of these things, you are keeping young girls away from their family, etc., etc., etc. And then after surviving R. Kelly, you then have a trial. A trial to basically say, well, y'all remember all the stuff in surviving R. Kelly? Now we're going to have the trial afterwards. You tell me where that's fair at. You tell me where that's fair at. That's not fair. Now, do I believe that he's guilty? I believe that he's guilty of some stuff, yes. Yes. But to set the odds against him and stack the deck, I believe that when we talk about racism, y'all full of shit. Y'all full of shit. Y'all full of shit. The Me Too movement wasn't composed by white people. It wasn't developed by white people. So now you get this Me Too movement, this cancel culture to say, okay, well, we don't like R. Kelly no more. Okay, cool, no problem. That's you got your right to do that or whatever. But when you put out a documentary saying that a man is guilty and he hasn't had his day in court, young men, older men, soon to be men, that's scary. Ladies, that's scary. That means if I get enough people to help me with a documentary, I can say that you are guilty of something without ever going to court. That's not scary to you? 3 of your coworkers right now at your job don't like you. They get together and they do a Facebook Live or a YouTube video and say, you know what, such and such is stealing the staplers. They always stealing the staplers. Yep, I seen them put 3 staplers in their purse the other day. Staple stealing staple bandits. They have the whole damn video up before you even get to the part where you gotta now go see your damn boss. So now you get into your boss's office, because that's the courtroom, right? And now you get into your boss's office. Your boss done already seen the video. Yeah, there is some missing staplers, definitely. But the fact of the matter is, now you're standing there trying to defend yourself against a video that was made, a documentary that was made about you saying that you're guilty. How is that fair? How is that fair? Denise Johnson says men are under attack. I believe there's some validity to that. I do believe that, you know what I'm saying, for some reason that men, you know, it's ladies and gentlemen, young boys are not born men. Young boys are they're not born men. They have to learn what to do and what not to do or whatever. And I know you guys are saying, yeah, everybody got, no, I think that we're under the impression that because you have a penis, you automatically know how to be a man. And that's not true. You automatically know how to be empathetic. You automatically know how to communicate. You automatically know love language. You automatically know how to be a provider. You automatically know how to be a leader. You're a man, so you should automatically know. We're not making no excuses for your homeboy. And I think that that's unfair. Young boys don't get coddled like young girls. Hell, and even in society today, if a man does something, oh, you're a man, you should know better. But it's like if you're a woman, you kind of get a little leverage. You kind of get a leeway at times. Some people may not agree. But I look at a lot of things, and it's almost like when you hear, the Bill Cosbys and the RKellys and this and this, it's like you should have known better. But my thought process is, if you're going to stack the deck against me, why even have a trial? If you're going to put out a 6 series or 8 series or however many episodes it was, saying that I'm guilty, and you're going to show thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people saying that I'm guilty, why have a trial? There's no need to have a trial, because you're already laying out the fact that I'm guilty. Just saying. How many of you guys feel like being a celebrity means that you should not be held accountable? Because that's the narrative that is being pushed. I believe a lot of people are saying being a celebrity makes you above accountability. I noticed that on social media a lot. It's like I can run from my responsibilities of accountability. I can do a whole lot of bullshit. I can say a lot of bullshit, and you won't hold me accountable because you like me because I'm a celebrity. And how dare someone who's average at best say something about it? Can you imagine me telling you that, I don't believe the trial was fair for R. Kelly because of the surviving R. Kelly documentary? I believe that helped sway the jury, sway the judge. I think it helped sway the popular opinion. And I can say that, and the R. Kelly sympathizers like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Free R. Kelly. You're right. But if I say that R. Kelly, the things that were presented against R. Kelly, if any one of those allegations with him messing with a underage person, that he should be locked up for it. Oh, hell no. How dare you? Who you think you are? You average at best. You see how this goes? So you won't find a lot of people that will sit in the gap. You won't find a lot of people that will be the common denominator and say, you know what, let's look at this for what it is. He's a celebrity, we like the artist, but we have to question the man's actions. And if the man's actions at any point in time led him to having a situation with a young child, bruh, all that artist stuff is out the window. We don't care about that. And that should go for his family members. That should go for his R. Kelly sympathizers. That should go for anybody that is grown and has common sense. But for some reason, it's a lot of free R. Kelly. free R. Kelly. And then when you talk to someone, you say, okay, well, cool. I hear what you're saying. I understand your passion. I feel your conviction. What do you want him to be free to do? Do you believe that the entire trial, everything that was said about his involvement with younger women, do you believe that everything was a lie? When it has been proven that this person was 15, this person was this age, these women were a lot of these girls were underage. Do you believe that R. Kelly should be free? Now, I'm under the impression that R. Kelly should have to atone for his crime. If a crime was committed against a child, then definitely atone for it. I'm also under the impression that, you know what I'm saying, I'm hoping while he is atoning for his crime, that he gets help. That he gets help. And I'm so disappointed in some of the family or the family that's around him that kind of promotes this you don't know Rob scenario or conversation. It's like, well, if you know Rob was molested, if you know Rob was touched, if you know he was violated, why didn't you say, bro, I know you doing all of this singing and music and partying and mansions and girls and this and that and this. Bro, I still think that you need to get help for your trauma. Where was his support system at? Where was his support system at? You got brothers, you got cousins, you got a whole city behind you. Where was his support system at? And I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know if the allegations of him being touched or violated or molested as a child came out after he got in trouble or before. If it came out before, okay, cool, got it. But if it came out after, it's a little fishy. Because it's funny to me how you can have someone in your family say, yeah, you know, as a little boy, he was getting touched and this and this and this and this. Okay, brother. Okay, cousin. Okay, auntie. Okay, uncle. Why didn't you support him then? Why didn't you get him help then? Where were you at as a support system then? Why all of a sudden after other people become victims? Well, he was a victim too. Ladies and gentlemen, it then goes into a situation where if you touch one of my children, okay, if someone touches one of your children and then they sit up in the courtroom and say, well, reason why I touched your kid was because I was touched. You ever heard of the saying zero fucks? I'm being real. I don't care after you touch my child what happened to you. I just care about the fact that you violated my child, that you changed their natural serenity of growing up naturally. That's what I care about. And I think the issue is that when people start saying, well, you know, R. Kelly was doing this with this young girl and that McDonald's doing this and this and this. Now all of a sudden, well, R. Kelly was touched too. So does that make what he did null and void? Does that mean, oh, okay, we get it now. It's okay, Kels. It's okay. Keep singing. I believe I can fly. We got to watch what message we're sending out there to our young children. But not only to the young generation, but to our peers, to the people that supposedly and allegedly respect us. Because here's the thing. If you're telling me as my next door neighbor that if there's a celebrity that violates my child, you're not going to support me, then don't smile in my face. Don't ask to come over and play spades. We're not playing dominoes no more. No more barbecues for you. We got to stop giving passes to people just because we say, oh, well, they're popular. It's almost like you sit down and you say, well, that person has 100,000 subscribers. Everything they do and everything they say is legit. And I'm not going to say anything. Who am I to say anything about them? That's where you got it twisted at. Your voice matters. What you say matters. And the thing about it is, especially in this microwave, this quick popping society, they lead you to believe that whatever you say, whether you have one subscriber, whether you have a low credit score, whether you're short, fat, dark, ugly, whatever, your voice don't matter. And that's where they trap you at. That's the energy that you pass down to your children. That compliance of I don't matter. You got money, I don't matter. You got celebrity status, I don't matter. You got more than me, so I don't matter. That's where you take your children and you manipulate them to believe that they don't matter. You don't empower them. You discourage them. You're not uplifting them. You knocking out their foundation. And that's why they're doing anything they can to reach and oh my God, I just need something to empower me. I need somebody to hear me. I need somebody to make me feel like I'm somebody. Come on, parents, where you at? See, this ain't really about RKelly. This is about the people, the RKelly sympathizers. This is about the people that are alleged victims. Free RKelly. That's the statement. But to do what? That is what I want someone to answer for me. That is the reason why I've tagged people in this. The reason why you guys as the viewers are looking at this. Free RKelly. It sounds good. Sounds good. Free the artist. We want more music. But free the man? Joel Torres said $4.99. Thank you for the super chat. His lawyers were incompetent. The documentary should have been suppressed. The documentary was the nail in Kelly's coffin. If you don't believe that documentary knocked them out the park, if you don't believe that those jurors, you don't believe that judge looked at that documentary and said, I am going to just handle the law. I'm going to be fair and impartial. This has nothing to do with this trial. You are stupid. You crazy than a mother. We outside, goddammit. We see the real. And the thought process, imagine if that was you. Imagine if somebody would have took the time to done a whole Facebook Live hour-long segment on you and say you are guilty of this, this, and this, and this. Got their homeboys or their homegirls or their family members or their co-workers. Hey, I need you to come on this live and I need you to say a bunch of bad stuff about this person. Yeah. And then when you say a bunch of bad stuff or whatever, then I'm going to take this video and then I'm going to give it to the court so they can see how many people said something bad about them. We just trying to manipulate. No, we don't want their side. We don't want to hear from them. Who the hell you think you is? We just want to say a bunch of bad stuff about this person so we can make them look guilty. Yeah, don't worry about the facts. What you talking about the facts? It ain't about the facts. It's about the story. I want you to cry. Can you cry? Can you cry? Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand in front of the camera real quick. I'm going to throw some water in your face. You ready? Here we go. Bah! Oh. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Some people can cry on demand. That shouldn't have made RKelly guilty. That exposure, that to me, it violates fair and impartial treatment. It violates the whole court proceedings. You're not gonna lock me up and then say, well, we already know you're guilty. Because that's what it was. We already know you're guilty. Hold on, wait a minute. How can you release this documentation on me and I haven't been to court? Why are, Joe says, thanks for the super chat. He says, why some of these parents not charged? Why are these enablers not charged? Why are the people that were around RKelly? If he can't read, who booked the flights? Who got the cars? Who got the homes and the apartments and the hotel rooms? Who paid for the clothes and the shoes and all that other shit? If he can't read, goddamn it, he must can do sign language real good or something. There's a lot more people that should be held responsible, but it's like, well, we're going to focus on RKelly. And somebody was like, well, that's the problem. The system trying to take down our black men. No, our black men need to make better decisions. Our black men need to stop saying, you know what, I can get away with this because I got a little money, I got a little clout. That's really what it goes down to. I need all of the females that really love and support black men. All of the men that really love and support black women. All of the people that really love and support the black community to hear me and hear me well. Stop putting yourself in fucked up situations and expect to play the race card. Stop doing it. Stop doing it. When I get in trouble, when I'm going to say, hey, I just went out there, I went to the club, got a promotion. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I called up my homeboys or whatever. I called up my homegirls. I say, look, we meeting at the Shallow. You know what I'm saying? Y'all pull up. We gonna have a good time. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get lifted. We gonna get drunk or whatever the case may be. Shit, I just brought a brand new Beamer. We driving. Right? Get to the club, have a good time. Shit, club night over. You know what I'm saying? We taking shots, we drinking, we have a great time. Stay with me, I'm going somewhere. So I'm driving home. Didn't get an Uber. Didn't call a Lyft, didn't have somebody else drive, wasn't smart enough to say, let me get a designated driver. I'm driving home. Shit, man, goddamn, bro. Well, boom. I hit somebody head on. Happens to be a nurse coming home off of her shift. Happens to be a father going to Walmart to get milk for the baby. Hell, it happens to be a family traveling with 2 kids in the back, 1 infant and 1 5-year-old. And I killed them. Vehicular manslaughter. But you overlook it because I'm a celebrity. You overlook it because I sing good. He didn't mean it. What about all of those hits? But he sings so, oh, he's so fine. Y'all can't lock up my baby daddy. I've heard all of these excuses except let's hold him accountable. If he's guilty, let's hold him accountable. I like him, but he murdered a child. I like him, but he was driving drunk. I like him, but he didn't have the common sense to say, hey, Uber, designated driver, Lyft, shit, walk home, spend the night at the club. You didn't have the intestinal fortitude to say, well, let me make the right decision here. You deliberately got behind the wheel. You deliberately said, I'm going to do this. Nobody forced these young girls into your studio. Nobody told you, hey, listen, I'm going to leave you in here with this young girl and I'll be back. People don't care. That's what's so scary about this shit. People don't care. People that say, let me offer up my children to you because you're a celebrity. You can get them up to the next. You can do whatever you want to do. I'm going to turn a blind eye. You got to think about how many parents out there. You know, I did a video the other day and I talked about, you know, let your children, you know, be children. Let them have a childhood. And the issue that we have is it's so many parents that's letting their children look like Instagram girls. So many parents out there, you know, letting their children sag their pants and smoke cigarettes and act like they grown. They give them responsibility of them being grown. They're not grown, they're kids. It's not their job to raise your kids that you're having. It's not their job to look like adults or act like adults. When you give children the responsibility of adults, they start thinking that they're adults. So when they see older men or older women, guess what they doing? Well, shit, I can have sex. Y'all having sex. I can smoke weed. Y'all smoking weed. I can drink because y'all drinking. I can party because y'all drink. Look. When you do that, you're setting your children up for failure. Better yet, you're setting them up to get got. For a 15-year-old to believe that she could even have a conversation about sex with a grown man, that she could be manipulated to the point where there's any type of encounter with the grown man is crazy. How are you comfortable with that? How are you not saying this not for me? Because as parents, we're sitting down and we're talking about our conquest. Come on now, moms. Hold on, wait a minute. Salute, I see you. We're talking about our conquest. We're talking about our boyfriends that he ain't shit anyway. All he do is mess with other women with his small penis. You're saying this in front of your 15-year-old. You're saying this in front of your 13-year-old. Fellas like, oh yeah, talking to their sons like, man, she got a fat butt, don't she? Yeah, I'm about to tear that thing up. Look, don't come knocking on my door. Last time you came knocked on my door. And I know you was peeking through the hole. That's why I put some toilet tissue in there. Don't play with me, young boy. We talking to our children as if they mini-me's, but they are a little sister and our little brother, or they are a homeboy or homegirl. No, they're your kids. You're turning their mind in a direction to do what? Are you living vicariously through them? Man, when I was 15, shit, I was smashing everything. When I was 15, boy, I was sleeping with every football player there was. I was sleeping with every cheerleader there was. And you're so proud that your children are so cool, right? My child is cool. Everybody like my child. Oh yeah, I'm gonna let my child smoke weed in the house because you know what I'm saying, I get the weed for them because you know it's very important. They're lacing this weed. I just want to know that they got safe weed. No, I buy the cigarettes. I let them smoke in the house because you know I don't want them to get caught out there, you know, smoking in the house. I let them drive my car to the store. I know they ain't got no license, but I just let them do that. I let them curse. It's okay. It's cool. Yeah, I let her twerk on the kitchen table. It's not. It's a hot girl summer. There's a lot more things that we could be. There's a lot more. There are other things that we need to worry about, just like we're worrying about R. Kelly, because people are grooming their children for people just like R. Kelly, just like Brother Polite. They're grooming them. They're grooming them. Shout out to 183rd. They're grooming them for people like that. And you know what's so funny about this is, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you know what I'm saying, but I'm from the Bronx in New York, right? 20-year veteran, Army logistics warrant officer. You know, I've been in a lot of places, done a lot of things, right? Here's my thought process. Do you know how many middle schoolers mess with high schoolers? How many high schoolers mess with grown men? Like that was a normal thing, especially in the urban community. That's a normal thing. There are numerous R. Kellys out there. So why target R. Kelly? How many of your older cousins, right? 19, 20, they messing with high school girls. Hell, they're at the high school. They're at the high school in the parking lot. So anywhere that those young people go, you see older people posted up like it's the club. They parking lot pimping. And you see those 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th graders over there at the cars. You're like, I know damn well this girl is too young, or these girls are too young to be at that guy's car. Nobody calls the police. Everybody turns the other cheek. They turn the other cheek. Nobody cares. But when R. Kelly do it, now they care. You want to free R. Kelly? Well, tell me what exactly you want him to be free to do. Somebody talk to me. You want to free him? Free R. Kelly. Sound good? Free R. Kelly. Free R. Kelly. Come on. Free R. And it's like as soon as you get asked that specific question, free him to do what? Well, to make music, of course, you dumbass. Oh. To make music, because that's what makes him a good person. That's what means that's what states that he's a credible man. That's what states that he won't violate any children or do anything crazy to other people. Okay, the music it what makes him above accountability. You right. Let's free R. Kelly. Let's free him. Let's free him. The only thing that I've learned from this R. Kelly trial is how to make someone guilty without first going to court. That's what I've learned. Because we already know people lie on the stand. We already know that there is systematic racism and all this other stuff or whatever. But what I saw how methodical it was and how easy it was to say, I'm going to promote this surviving R. Kelly documentary. And then I'm going to get thousands of women. I'm going to pull on the heartstrings of America, because that's exactly what happened. I'm going to pull on the heartstrings of America and I'm going to say, this man violated, this man abused, this man trafficked, this man did this man did that. And I want to pull on America's heartstrings right now. And oh, by the way, he has a court trial coming up. And then lo and behold, we get 12 jurors, predominantly men. And then during the trial, we say, this could be your daughter. This could be your sister. This could be your mom. Would you let that happen to your child? We set the narrative. We paint the picture. We promote the rhetoric. So R. Kelly sitting down there, we don't know what the hell he's guilty of. How do we know what he's guilty of? Because we know that, here's the thing. You can get a traffic stop, right? You don't stop soon enough for the police or whatever. Oh, you evading a police officer. You're disrespecting it. Like, it's 15 charges, and all you did was like, oh man, I don't want to stop right here. Let me pull up a little bit. Oh, you trying to run? So we know that charges just get racked up. We understand that, right? But the fact of the matter is, do we really know what he's guilty of? Not what you say he's guilty of, but what he's guilty of. And my thought process is, if he is guilty of doing anything against a child, then you deserve to be in jail. That's where I sit at. But in the other shit, all of this racketeering and all this, to me, I know that that's a fupa. I'm going to tell you a fupa. Because I believe that the deck was stacked against him and it could not have been a fair trial. And this is what I say, if you're screaming free R. Kelly, that's what you should be saying. Because anyone that says it was a fair trial after you release Surviving R. Kelly is a dumbass. I'm about to piss somebody off. Anybody who said that R. Kelly trial was fair and impartial after Surviving the R. Kelly series documentary. You are a dumbass and you are delusional to believe that that was a fair trial. But I say this again, however, comma, right? If R. Kelly did anything to violate any underage girl, then he should be held responsible. If he did anything to violate any one of those women, he should be held responsible. I don't care how great of an artist he is as a man and his character. We are holding him accountable. If you don't send that message as a grown man, as a grown woman, as a mature community, then something is wrong with you. If you say all y'all need to do is just put something on a major network and you got our vote, all y'all need to do is get another celebrity to say that he's guilty and you got our vote. Ladies and gentlemen, that could be you. And the fact of the matter is, half of y'all ain't got life insurance, so I know damn well you ain't got money for a goddamn lawyer. You trying to beat the odds when the odds were stacked against you. Not to mention if you're black. Not to mention if you're black. So we can pull a race card in. We can pull all of this. Hey, they lying, they Jezebels, they this, they this, they this, they this, they this. Got it. But me personally, I truly believe that the documentary should have never came out before the trial. That's one. That's in favor of R. Kelly. However, I believe that any of those charges that involved him messing with underage girls or abusing women that are true, then he should be held accountable. You ain't got to agree. You ain't got to agree. But before you get on your page, before you get on your channel, before you make another post on social media, think about why you're saying free R. Kelly. Because someone is looking at you now saying, well, suppose this happened to your daughter. Suppose your daughter was involved in this or you were involved in this. When you see something as a victim and someone is saying free the person who victimized me, well, I got to look at you sideways now. AEL says Chicago been waiting to wanting to fry him. Salute media, I see you. First of all, salute to everybody in the chat. I appreciate you guys listening to my perspective. Again, I want to make my stance really clear. I think this is probably going to be the last conversation I have about this. I believe that the trial was not fair and impartial. I believe that the Surviving R. Kelly documentary really set the tone for the trial. I believe that it was difficult unless those jurors and the judge and the prosecution was living in a cave and they did not see the documentary. I believe that they went in there with a preconceived notion that he was already guilty. So now all we have to do is make him guilty. The public already had this unapologetic response to the documentary, like saying, "Hey, me too, let's cancel this guy." So that became popular. That became the narrative, and I don't think that's fair for anyone. I don't think that's fair for anyone. When we talk about, the justice, the legal system, and how already corrupt it is, and depending on what you know, how much money you got or whatever, social media plays a big part in that. It's not all about facts. It's not all about that. It's definitely about public opinion, and public opinion was not on R. Kelly's side. One, because he was a black male, and then two, he was a celebrity, and three, he had clout. He had clout. He had money. But four, because the Me Too movement also, encompassed the cancel culture. The Me Too movement is not just about, getting justice for victims. It's about canceling motherfuckers, bringing them to justice. And a lot of times that justice is only seen one-sided. The facts should have been presented. Okay, all the facts wasn't presented. When you only hear one side of the narrative, that doesn't make it true. No matter how much you cry, no matter how much you yell, no matter how much you look away or you look down or you look unconfident or you look like a victim, that does not make it true. R. Kelly, that documentary made him look extremely guilty. Extremely guilty. So for those of us that have children, for those of us that are sympathetic and have big hearts, we looked at that situation like, damn, R. Kelly, you did that? So imagine us now becoming jurors, in the courtroom. It's almost like it's our obligation. It's our duty, our civic duty to make sure that this man is in jail. That don't make it fair and impartial. My last note is, again, even though I feel like the trial was not fair and impartial and the documentary played a big part in him being found guilty, I truly believe that, again, if any of those accusations against him involving abuse of women or young kids, that he should be held accountable, and that there should be no family member, no R. Kelly sympathizer that should say free R. Kelly, not taking in consideration that something that was presented in that courtroom was true. Something's going to get you time. That's a lot of stuff for you to be like, he is totally innocent. I think that you are totally naive if you believe that. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Mario J. This is Tough Love. We like to have the fair and impartial conversation here. If there's anybody that want to reach out to me, I'll make sure that I drop my email. We call it like we see it. We have the conversation that most people are afraid to have because they don't want you to say, well, they're pro R. Kelly or they're, pro against R. Kelly. We're calling it down the middle. I don't believe the trial was fair. However, if anything in that trial that was presented that was true, that is actual abuse, then I think that you should be held responsible. Salute to the Tough Love family, the new subscribers. Please, if you're just seeing this video or coming to our channel for the first time, Tough Love is not about bashing and hurting people. It is about having the difficult conversation and listening for understanding and promoting a fair and impartial perspective. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Mario J. This is Tough Love. Until next time. It is great to say free Kales, right? Free R. Kelly. But now you have to answer the question, for what? Adult up. Peace.